Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave Lego site, the emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can follow those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. Hello to Dirty, hello to Jam, and of course, Harold. I got to put the applause in there. Let's throw the emotes in as well to thank Harold for subscribing 52 months. That's a lot of months, Harold. On a 50-month streak, saying 52 months, a whole year. Wink. That rules. Thank you so much, Harold. Now, one thing I do want to point out to folks that is a new thing that you can do is if you hover your mouse. I don't know if this works on the mobile. I can only tell you from the web. Lastbrick is here. Hello, Lastbrick. If you hover your mouse over, you will see that there is a button that says Captions. And you can click on that, and then the captions will show up. And then there will be captions. This is integration through OBS. I'm actually going to go in, let me just real quick here. I'm going to click on my own stream for a second there. Yeah, I think that works. Oh, Harold throwing in 15 bits. Thank you so much for that, Harold. I appreciate that very much. Saying first. It did not. Yeah, there it is. It was there. I didn't hear that. So let's do the ching. Thank you very much, Harold. But yeah, let me see. Actually, so it's showing up. It's showing up here. Let me restart this here. Oh, if I hit play. Well, yes. Yeah. So you get the captions button, and then captions will show up. It is, I'll explain what it is. There'll be a link in the show description on the YouTube archive. I'll put the link here in chat right now to it, which is the closed caption OBS plugin, which is via Google search recognition. So instead of it being a Twitch app, which for the Twitch app to work, you have to turn it on every single time, and it has to be like, you know, a tab open on Firefox or Chrome or whatever, and that's not super convenient. And even if your mic's muted, sometimes it picks up and goes. This way, you can set it so if your mic is on, you have closed captioning. So it is a plugin for OBS, not Streamlabs OBS, just OBS. So OBS Studio. Also, you shouldn't be using slobs anymore. Slopes. You want to jump over to just old OBS. Hey, Lord Crashing, welcome. So yeah, so OBS Project has it over there in their forums as a resource. You can find a tutorial online on how to do it, but it's pretty simple. Of just like, you have a plugins folder on your program files for OBS. You put that in there with OBS closed. What was that sound? Was that? Oh, that was the cheer from Harold. There we go. It was very delayed. I was like, what's that sound? But yes, thank you, Harold, for your cheer. So yeah, you put in your plugins folder, then you open OBS, then you go to Tools, and you can click on it, and then it'll show up next to like your audio mixer and controls and all that. And right now it shows me what it says, but I don't have it on, so I could put it on my display and see my own voice. But yeah, this feels really good. This feels just good to have there. For folks that having captions would be helpful, or pretty much a deal breaker otherwise. And I'm not going through a third-party app that might not be updated because it's using Google Voice, and it will get updated like other plugins in OBS, which is cool. You got also, I think you got to be on one of the latest versions of OBS for it to work, which I can't remember which one that is, but I think it's like 2.7 or something like that. So throw that out there as a resource. This is my first test with it, but I'm really happy to be using it. Hey, Aristfan, welcome. Good old Pat Gill over on the Polygons has it on his stream. And I was like, ooh, I didn't know about this plugin. I'm going to check it out. So yeah, pretty cool. What are we doing tonight? We're working on a Lego set. We got the Super Robot 3-in-1. It's very new. You got a robot, you got a jet, you got a dragon. So we'll do that. We're going to have some conversations such topics, such excellent chat conversation starters as the closed caption OBS, wrestling results, a fairly new manga reader that is not an app, it is just a website. And I don't know, other stuff that's going to come up, I'm sure. There will be other things. I will say this as I send a reply to my tweet to try to see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. That we'll go to the overhead, working on our Lego, moving my mouse out of the way. Here's our Lego. So you can, I don't want to tilt it down any more than that. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it like that. That's fine. You'll see a little bit of this there, but that's okay. I think that's totally okay. One thing I will say as we get going on this is that tonight is my first stream with my folks back in town. My parents have returned from their long trip, which is excellent. It's nice to have them back. This affects nothing about the streams other than I'm back here in this room and in many ways back on my bullshit. Yeah, other than that, nothing really changes about the streams. And I got asked this in a DM saying like, hey, is there anything like weird or different happening in March? And the answer to that is no. Working on high grades, master grades, real grades, working on Lego sets, the usual. This coming Wednesday is kind of interesting in that I will be doing my first Platinum, Pokemon Platinum randomizer. We're going to start a Pokemon Platinum randomizer run because my save did not transfer over from one computer to the other. I did not realize those saves did not make the jump. I thought they had, but they hadn't, and they were not part of the backup that I have of my previous PC. So goodbye to the Wings squad. You were fantastic, including the one that didn't really have wings. You were great, but we were starting a new one on Wednesday. It's my first time doing a DS game as part of the randomizer run, so that should be fun. I still have to figure that out. That's part of my day tomorrow, is figuring out the layout of that, and if I really am going to have like 2 instances of it running so that I can like overlap them. Harold says, I just hopped on my PC. Captions are indeed working. Well, great. That's awesome. But yeah, that is all on your end. Also, one thing that's nice is, be it that it's through OBS as a plugin, it doesn't automatically start in the corner, and you don't have to hit a weird thing to turn it on and off. You just turn it on and off at your own leisure, which is nice. That, to me, that is a feature, because I know some people it is a hindrance for them. Whereas others, it is awesome to have. But yeah, so that's this Wednesday. Now, next Wednesday is the release day of the highly anticipated game Tunic, and we will be playing Tunic. Lord Crash said that's a cool new feature. Yeah, it is a very cool plugin for OBS. Excellent that it's there, and yeah, I can see. It seems to be doing pretty good, which is nice. And then, of course, my YouTube archives always have closed captioning, but that takes a little while of the video being processed. So usually when I first upload it, it won't have it, but eventually it will have captions because there's like a queue for that. I've tried to do the other CC solution and never seemed to work right. Yeah, Lord Crash, I had that too, where it would be like an app and you had to go to a website and authenticate every time and turn it on, and it sometimes it worked great and sometimes it just didn't work at all, and that's not optimal. Having it work sometimes is not helpful to people. So this seems to be working fine, and at the very least, I know on my end if it's not working because I can look at in OBS and see what it's saying. Of course, it just said I can look at OBS and it said BS, and that time it said OBS. So yeah, okay. It seems to be doing its best. And also, like any other, this type of live, what do you want to call it? speech recognition software, it's going to get better over time. It's learning. No perfect system, as Harold helpfully points out. Totally correct. It is indeed no perfect system. But yeah, I'm happy to have it. Yeah, so Tunic. Going to play Tunic a week from this Wednesday when the game comes out. Excited to play Tunic. I enjoyed the demos of it that I've played at various PAXs, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it runs on stream. You know, and seeing how y'all respond to it. I'm just looking forward to that game, so I want to play it on stream because why wouldn't I? Excited for Pokemon as well. Do have to figure out how that's going to work. Haven't really played around with that yet because it is a dual screen as being the DS. So I've got to figure out, like, do I just want to put the just put it up and have that, or have it like most of the screen be the bottom and then the top being smaller, and like where I kind of, you know, I don't know. I got to figure it all out. That's why I said I don't know. I got to see how it goes. One thing I do want to point out here in this 3-in-1 is there's a fucking progress bar on this instruction booklet. Like, that seems unnecessary for such a small booklet because there's 3 booklets, one for each one. But it's cool, and I haven't noticed that before. If that's brand new, that's awesome. If it's not brand new, I just haven't noticed it. But there's a they put a progress bar. They gamified my Lego, and that is a feature that I appreciate. So kudos, Lego. That's pretty great. Look, it's possible that they've been on instructions before, and I just haven't noticed it. So I don't know, but that's neat. Okay, we did that. Quick hit of thing to talk about here is Manga Plaza. Manga Plaza is a new website dedicated to bringing you translated manga. It's fairly new, but they have some good licensing deals. They've been getting a wide variety. They don't focus on a genre, which is kind of interesting. This is a somewhat review. It is not an extensive review. It is also not an ad. Hashtag not an ad. Basically, they don't do the, like, what some of the major ones, the Shonen Jump era stuff is doing, or style is doing, which is you get like the first one and then you get like the latest one, because those are titles that get pirated, so they're looking to at least get some people to at least read those in closed systems. There's no app for this. There are no downloads. You just log in on your website and look at it. You don't need to necessarily log in because there's a lot of like first chapters, as I said. Decent variety. It is $7 a month for the subscription service. But the thing I will say about Manga Plaza is not everything on their website is part of the subscription service, because they make individual deals, and some of the deals they make means that those stories or you know, books don't end up on the subscription service. You have to individually buy them, and you know, each chapter ranges from like 99 cents to like $2, maybe even $3. So you know, cheaper than comic books. You should always know and do your research, because you know, there's some stories that are short, you know, chapters, and some that are long. So you should always be aware of that. But if you're looking for a site to legally read some stuff, I think it's worth looking. I would say if you have like 3 or 4 titles on that website that interest you, that's probably worth $7. Also, there is a 7-day free trial, so maybe you want to just take a look, read through a bunch of stuff, and just speed read, or do the 1 month and then just marathon through the stuff you're interested in. I don't know, but I do like to talk about those things, as I do talk about manga quite often, and I sometimes talk about manga that isn't read by legitimate means, and I don't love that. I would love it if more. So the thing is, that if I want to watch anime, there's so many easy legal ways for me to watch anime, and so I do it. With manga, there are so many stories out there that do not end up with proper translation for a fee, be it subscription or per story. And so if you want to read that stuff, you gotta make do. Now, I do have a couple subscriptions, so I do get some manga and manhwa legally, but then there's stuff that I don't, and I would love that to be different. I'm not defending my behavior. I am simply letting you know what the deal is. In the same way that I watched a lot of anime via fan subs when that was the way to watch anime, other than with very few minor exceptions. And now I don't. You know, it was that thing where it'd be like, Amazon, like, you know, when Anime Strike, which was Amazon's anime service, when that was an additional thing, if I didn't feel like paying for only like a couple shows. So I didn't go and look for torrents of that stuff. I did it 1 month and watched all the stuff I wanted to see. And then eventually that went away and just folded back into Amazon, which is fine. But yeah, that's my thing. Like, I am not caught up on Lupin. Lupin the Third Part 6, because that is on High Dive, and I don't have High Dive. At a certain point, I will get High Dive and get for a month and get caught up on Lupin, because that's usually High Dive just has like 1 show or 2 shows exclusives per season, and rarely are those things I care about. This time around, it does happen to be Lupin, which I would like to see. That's just general. We are now done with the body, the chest of our robot here. You can see in the photo, you get that. So we've finished the chest. Now we're working on the legs. And I believe we're doing these 2 times. So I'm going to see, just going to jump ahead here. I think we can do all this at the same time. Yeah, just times 2. Okay, so we're going to do the leg. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do both parts. So yeah, I want to say that I was reminded, literal progress bar at the bottom of the book. Yes, not sure I've seen that in other kits. John, yeah, this is a 2022 Lego set. Like, it literally was released a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So this could be a new thing they're doing. It also could be just because of, it could be something they're doing just in 3-in-1s. But yeah, there's a progress bar now. It's pretty neat. And they're in all of this set. So yeah, kind of cool. Also, hi, John. The Sonic set has a progress bar too, says the wristband. Nice, a wristband. That's cool. So again, I guess that's just a new Lego thing. Maybe it's only in certain sets, or it's going to be across the bar. But it's cool. I like it. On Saturday, I talked about working for Funny or Die for a month, where I posted memes to their website as a job, that contract gig that I did. And I did think that was the weirdest job I've ever had, contract or otherwise, outside of like acting gigs, because sometimes acting gigs they're more advertising than acting, it turns out. And so I did plenty of those, you know, things where you like, it's like mascot gig. And it's just advertisement. It went through a talent agency, but it was just an effort. You were just passing out flyers in a costume. I have not done mascot work, but I have done Sherpa work. I have been the person helping out a mascot because, and it is in some movies, but it is also true that if your costume is set up in such a way that you do not have good, clear vision, you must have a handler or a Sherpa to be with you to help you move around. And they might not necessarily have to stand right by your side, but if you're like going around, that, you know, they can see they have better vision than you have vision in the costume. If that is the case, then you need somebody to watch your back, basically. Sonic made his way all across the page. That's great, Aristophan. I think that's cute as hell. That is very cool. So I've done that a bunch. I've done a bunch of like shepherding of people in mascot costumes for gigs. Just a bunch of like nonsense jobs here and there. The weirdest contract gig I've had, and I had forgotten about this. A friend of mine reminded me, who was watching the stream on Saturday, reminded me about a gig. I saw there's an itch bundle for Ukraine relief for $10. Cloud Gardens is up there along with a bunch of other stuff. Yes, the itch bundle for Ukraine is up right now. It's a lot of stuff. There is a tabletop one and a video games one, although it might be the same. But I know there's also a tabletop itch bundle as well. So check those out. Get a bunch of cool stuff, and then also, support incredible cause. Help out some people. And Aristophan has linked to the bundle for Ukraine, which I appreciate. Thank you for linking. So yes, the weirdest contract gig I had in New York was I got paid to hang out in the lobby of an office. And that's it. I got paid to just hang out. It was a company that had, yes, as Rustin said, so the TTRPG bundle is for Texas Trans Health. Yes, I apologize. Those were two separate bundles that exist. Yes, thank you, Lord Crashington. So yeah, so I got paid to just hang out and be on my laptop in an office lobby to make it seem like that company was bigger than they were. They had some important clients coming in, and they were a small staff in a fairly large office building. And so they wanted to seem like they had more employees than they did, or like more employees that were in the office. So, yes, so your job was gold bricking. Yes, I was just hanging out. I was on my laptop. They had good Wi-Fi there, so we all got access to the good Wi-Fi. And myself and several other people just hung out all day. I dressed business cash. I also had an audition that day, so it was easy. It was actually great because I was just in my audition clothes. And just kind of sat around. And I did that 3 days in a row. And got paid pretty fucking damn well. And also, they did have snacks, which was nice. And a couple friends and I, like, a friend was like, who was there, was like, hey, let's, like, all of us order from the same place. So it's, and, like, we'll all, like, pool our money. And it'll seem like we're ordering for the office. Who nobody cared. Nobody even looked at us. It didn't matter. But it was very funny because they did want people to be the same people if at all possible, because they were really trying to like lay it on thick, this con. So they paid me extra to be there for 3 days basically. And yeah, we ordered food like one day, like as a group, which was fun, and it was people I knew, and so we were talking about some stuff and whatever, and it was really just like tool around on the internet. I'm fairly sure I was just posting things to Tumblr that day and, checking my email and whatever, chatting on whatever service. Probably GChat. Probably just, checking in with people. And it was great. I did it one more time for them, but unfortunately I was busy that week and I could only do it one day, a couple months later. And that was the best. That was the best job I've had. I've never done seat filling or anything like that. When I moved to New York, I did a lot of flyer handouts because once you do, so I did it like I did a little bit of the Times Square thing, standing there handing out things, trying to get people to do sightseeing bus tours and going to restaurants and stuff like that. I never did I never did anything where I tried to get people to go to a comedy show. Like I didn't do any bringer shows because I wasn't doing stand-up so I didn't have to worry about bringers. I did a couple improv shows that we needed a guaranteed number of tickets, but that, which is a bringer, but I've only done that like twice, but I never had to like flyer for that. That was just, I convinced some friends to come to it with the promise that I would go to one of their things, which is like a trade-off. And yeah, I mean, I did a lot of the flyer stuff in the early days. Sometimes it was going to a concert and flyering people in line to get in, or flyering as they left, which was definitely less frowned upon because they were already leaving that business. So then you're like, you know, and it'd be like, well, if you like this band, check out this other one. They're doing a show tomorrow nearby. Like, you know, whatever. It was fine. I did a lot of flyering, flyered for some comedy shows over the years, which was nice. I got pretty good at it. I hated it. But it was income. And I almost never got screwed over. Occasionally I did. I definitely did not get my final paycheck from the tour company, the Sex and the City tour. They had a Sex and the City tour because it was still very big when I got to New York. And then they had a like Seinfeld tour, which they were like gonna eventually get rid of that tour and just fill that into the general New York tour, which was everything from like anything that had been filmed in New York. Like what they would just go around do all of them. But yeah, they had the special Seinfeld one, which my favorite part of that was they advertised no appearances by the real Kramer, because the real person that the character Kramer was based on was doing his own tours of New York. And that literally is a bit in the show, Seinfeld. That's them making fun of the real Kramer doing that tour. And so this one advertised no appearances by the real Kramer, as if that was a bonus, which, to be honest, probably was a bonus. All right, so we got our legs here, and now we're going to work on the feet. We're going to use the gun piece. This is the piece that you would use on ships. You would use to denote lasers. These are the laser guns. But in this instance, they are just going to be used here as feet. I used to know a guy who was one of those guys talking about girls in Vegas and talking about girls in Vegas handing out cards at the strip. Said it was good practice for talking fast and pitching folks on stuff. Yeah, I mean, when your job is so, I would never agree to just commission. Not just commission. I would do hourly plus commission or hourly. So I would always say no to. Because the thing is, your percentages are really low, especially with like tours. Did okay. Tours, you could convince the people to get on a tour bus, but getting people to go to a show or go into a business or a restaurant, that stuff's tough. It's very tough. So people who are doing cards like that, they're like trying to go see a gentleman's club. Those folks are often working on commission. And they're going to have like the cards they're handing you have like their name on it or a code on it. And often they'll be like, get a free soda or a free drink maybe, or like, $5 off, that kind of thing. That's not just to incentivize people to come in. It's also a way for you to show the card so that person gets the commission. I would never work on pure commission, because pure commission is a sucker's bet. Because then you have to work on incredible volume. I would always look for just hourly, because like maybe you're making me sell some bullshit or trying to convince people to go to a thing and there's just no way that's going to work. Which was certainly the case many times. But even if it was hourly and commission, at least you're still getting that hourly. You're getting a guarantee. Commission only, like, I'm not that good of a salesperson. That's why I would never do like an in-store commission job, because that's just not going to work out. We're just not going to make that dollar doing that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I did a lot of small jobs in New York. Like we talked about temping, did a lot of temping for different companies. The best one was, I think I talked about the group that did like installations of software or like upgrades, or like, we got everybody webcams. They need to be installed. Here's a box full of webcams. Okay, hit this, don't put it on this desk, put 2 on this desk, do whatever, go through, you know, all that. Like, I did a lot of those jobs. I'm not built for sales, but back-end tech support says dirty. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with customer service, but I'm not necessarily great with sales because I am a bullshitter for fun. I am not a bullshitter for profit. I'm not going to get you into a new car. I am going to have a good time talking to you about that new car, but I'm not probably sealing the deal on a thing you weren't sure you wanted. But I will, like, have a good time and get, like, a fun... It will be a fun story for you to tell your friends about, like, oh, in New York, I went and did this, blah, blah. Like, I know that that is me. All right, so we did the legs. Now it's time to do the arms, I believe. Yeah, we're working on the arms here. And again, 2 at a time. These are symmetrical friends, so we can do 2 at a time. But yeah, the installation of software or hardware was really a good, like, contract gig. And I would run into people, and I would see the same people, and it was nice to talk to them. There is a part of me that wishes that I had gotten into the nonsense world of union tech, not theater tech, union show tech. I didn't have the time. I would have had to quit my job when an opportunity arose, and I did not at the time want to quit that job. It'd be years until I wanted to quit the job that I would have had to quit to do it. But so a friend of mine was in this union, and he worked 6 times a year. But when he worked, it was incredibly intense. Be up for 23 hours, you know, like find a corner, fall asleep on the job, wake up again, work again. Because he did theater, he did lighting for shows for like Fashion Week and fashion shows. So that's often coming in, helping with setup, converting a space. You've had meetings leading up to it. You weren't doing the design, but somebody else was doing the design. And then showing up and doing the job and working incredibly long hours, but getting paid incredibly well, and then just not worrying about it. Basically, when that got offered to me, I was in my mid-20s, and I should have taken it. But I didn't want to quit my job because I had just gotten some advancement in the job that I had and really liked the work and the people, and I felt like I could even advance even more there. So I didn't. But I do have some regrets about that because I would have made a ton of money doing that stuff. And I'm certainly not built for that now. I'm definitely not built for that kind of lifestyle. But that stuff, yeah. I mean, you know, I had looked into union stuff for theater, working in union houses. I've done some work in union houses as a correspondent or a go-between, but never actually working in that. Are going to be 2 at a time? Or is this different? Oh, this is 1 at a time. Okay. These are 1 at a time. Yeah, so I would do stuff like liaison. That's what I would liaison at union houses because, like, so there are a few of them out there in New York. There are places where you gotta be union to touch anything. So I couldn't. So even though I was the technical director for like a charity show, right? I couldn't touch any gear there, but I could talk to people and tell them. So I would do that. We rented a space for a comedy show that was. It wasn't the Hammerstein Ballroom, but it was in the Hammerstein building. It was actually where they taped Monday Night Raw when Monday Night Raw debuted. And so I was in that space, which was rad. And I'm great at that. I'm so great at liaison work because I've made lots of cool shit out of nothing. So when I talk to people who are pros and good night, Harold. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for renewing your subscription, as always, and I'll talk to you soon. But you might believe this, but I relate to people who are in over their heads or are just trying to fucking get shit done. We are very simpatico. We definitely get along. So, like, you come in and go, like, hey, this is your space. And, you know, like, an improv show. Somebody is looking at the call sheet and they're like, hey, why aren't there cues in your show? And I have to explain, it's improv. And I'm like, look, at a certain time, we're going to flash a red light on a phone app, and they're going to go, okay, and they're going to wrap things up. I don't have a blackout line for you. I just have a phrase that you should be looking for. And I would always say, look, this is improv, and the thing I got you to understand is, as long as the music is loud and their mics are on, they're going to be happy because they're so excited about being in this space. And then, like this one show we had to do, we had very little notice because we were supposed to be in another venue, and that venue had a fire, and everyone was okay, but we couldn't do a show in that venue. And so I just said, I'm like, look, we weren't even going to be able to do this show because there was a fire at FIT. So the fact that we even get to do the show, everyone's so psyched. It's going to be so good. Like I'm like, this is your easiest night at work. And if it's not your easiest night at work, you come tell me. You know, like when it comes to dealing with people who are just so tired, that's where I shine. That's where my bullshit meter goes great. I worked events for New York Comic Con one year for Reed. I got hired on through some PAX people as like hey, my theater that I work at is actually going to be dark this weekend, so I didn't plan on doing anything for it, but I'm available now. And I ended up being the front, like the front of theater, like liaison between like the guy who was in charge of all the security people in the building and the staff, because like that's where I fit. Because I was like, hey, they're like, hey, these lines, this is all bullshit. And I was like, you're right, it is. Here's 3 ways we can make it better. And that's not a thing that people hear. Constructive attempts to fix the problem is not something that folks are used to in that field. They're generally used to people saying, make it work, and having someone walk away. But I wasn't going to do that because that's not how I operate. Instead, I was like, okay, look, we got to do this, this, this. Let's open these things. Let's move these people. Let's do this. Let's switch this person out. Your security people are looking for this and this and this. Hey, let's get in this. There's this one line that's been waiting. They're supposed to get in early. Let's just let them in now. There's music playing. Let's let them in now. Like, just this thing of, like, me figuring it out, like, in the moment and trying to problem solve. I suddenly became that guy's favorite person. To the point where, like, we were only there, I think, 3 out of the 4 days. And he was just like, tomorrow's going to be annoying. I wish you guys were here. And you don't hear that. Nobody says that to the people that are running panels for, because it was just like, it was a auxiliary theater running, like, some big panels. We had, like, Wynonna Earp panel. Those people are, those fans, man, Wynonna Earp fans are so lovely. That fandom is just absolutely fantastic. A lot of queer folks in that fandom because they were just the assumptions that these characters were definitely queer, but a lot of accepting of that and of like, hey, like, we're not going to expose her feelings on people, but okay. I don't know, that fandom was full of people who were just like so psyched, because also the people making Wynonna Earp were really happy to have this dedicated fandom and having like a save our show kind of momentum behind it. I don't know. They were lovely. There was also like a weird table read thing. Let's see. What am I doing here? Oh, I almost missed a piece. There was a table read for SpongeBob. So you saw the voice actors, most of the voice actors from SpongeBob, reading like a new episode. And that was fucking weird. It's very weird to see Tom Kenny do SpongeBob's voice. it's a disconnect in your head. Very strange. Yeah, so it was that, but like I said, that is a thing that I am pretty fucking good at, and I take a lot of pride at it, is that if I am a liaison or a go-between, I'm doing a good job. It's hard to say that about PAX, because if it's one of my panels, we're on time. We don't go over. I'm always there before they even say to get there, ready to go. I have communicated my needs ahead of time. I make sure that my performers know where they're supposed to be. My guests, my panelists know where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do as best I can. Sometimes I fail on that, but most of the time I nail that. League of Heels is obviously a different thing in that it's not just my child, but when it is just me running it, it is less chaotic than when it is other people, perhaps, or you know, Helmet. So I can't say, like, and obviously, look, elephant in the room, the fog machine, that is my fault. So I did do that. I'm not the only, look, League of Heels is not the only panel at PAX to clear that room. We were not the only panel at PAX to clear that room that PAX. So, even though it was terrible, turn off the fog machine. Indeed, Lord Crashington, we should have turned off the fog machine. I should have, when I realized, the second I realized that all of the fog was being sucked in to that hallway every time the door closed, and it wasn't giving the right effect, I should have abandoned the fog machine immediately instead of pumping more fog in. And while it did look cool, we did not have a good camera on that door. So even though it looked rad for me, I was one of the only people to see how cool that looked. Mistakes were made. But again, I stand by it that when it's my own panels, Pat Bear's Anime Club, Build With Baer Workshop, which I've only done once. We did Lego builds. Improvised Postmortem, 404ing it. All of those panels, it's at least an iconic PAX moment, indeed. All those panels are run real well. Now, was there an incident one year where someone fell off the stage during one of my panels? Yes. Did that also happen the same night directly before our panel to somebody else? Yes, it did. So we weren't the only ones, literally, that had happened before, and we should have been warned about it because it had just happened to somebody. Now, in our case, when Kate fell, she did fall into a power strip, and we did lose sound everywhere, but the Twitch cameras had mics in it, so we were still audio on Twitch, but we did not have audio in the room for a hot minute, which was embarrassing. All right, oops. Put this on here. It was embarrassing. And also Kate was okay, which is the most important thing, was that Kate was fine. Ben Ulmer from Loading Ready Run got a little hurt when he fell off the stage, which was a shame. But that I did not know because I was not paying attention to those fine folks at the time. So I was unaware that that literally was happening while it was before it happened to us. That Ben had also dealt with that shit. Ridiculous. We're going to do wings. We're almost done with this. This is going to be a pretty quick build. I believe that we won't, I don't know if we'll actually get through one of the other two in the second hour because we do have to take this all apart and null it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a 2-stream kit, which is totally fine. It's fun to do some Misu. It's nice to have results. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. I guess I'll chat a little bit about wrestling. AEW Revolution happened last night. I was watching it live and chatting with... I wasn't live tweeting it. I got a couple tweets in because there was a couple moments that were cool as hell. But for the most part, I was just keeping it casual because I was in a Discord call with some friends as we were watching it and just having some reactions. So I'll quickly just go over like the things I want to talk the most about. Hook is just a very good wrestler and a handsome young man. Hook, the son of Taz, is just, you know, like it'll be interesting to see who are they going to just have him keep beating better and better people, and moving up the card that way. Like, what's the end goal for Hook? I don't know, but it was great. It was cool to see Eric Redbeard, aka Eric Rowan, fill in and help out Death Triangle, because that way you got some big meaty men, him and Brody King going at it. That was fun. That match didn't need to happen on this card. This is the match I would have cut. I know they're doing some cool stuff with House of Black, but the show needed some cuts. Yes, I have not seen any updates on Orange Cassidy's situation, but it looks like he did get hurt in that ladder match, which you hate to see. Also, Orange is a great dude. He's just like a good person, and so yeah, no tweets out of him, which is tough. I hope he's doing all right. But yeah, sounds like he got hurt coming out of that. Eddie Kingston fucking made Chris Jericho tap out, and then Eddie Kingston was like, did I just win? Which fucking rules, because the thing about the wonder that is Eddie Kingston is, Eddie Kingston's character is, I will kick your ass. Wait, am I doing good? Because Eddie Kingston the wrestler and Eddie Kingston the man do not think that good things can and will happen to Eddie Kingston. And that is like his through line character. And it rules. And Eddie fucking won. And that's the right thing for Chris Jericho to do. Because you gotta fucking do it. And good on him. That was brutal. Look, I don't love blood in matches. I generally make an exception for Eddie Kingston matches because it is so intrinsic to his character. Because he is the most believable man in professional wrestling. Nobody makes it more believable and honest than Eddie Kingston. It was really good. I hope that he did not injure his eye, because it looks like he might have. And I hope he didn't. This is where Jurassic Express should have lost their belts. That's what I'll say there. Nobody lost their goddamn belt, and somebody needed to lose their goddamn belt. Somebody needed to lose their goddamn belt, and I feel like that's where it should have been, because they should at some point break up Jurassic Express. There, I said it. They should at some point break up Jurassic Express. And this is where they, like, sow the seeds of Red Dragon versus Young Bucks all you want, but I don't care about that as much as as other things. So, not a big fan of that. I'm fine with Wardlow because it's good storytelling. It moves things along. Wardlow is never going to be a face for long, but right now it works. So I kind of like that. I would have liked to see Keith Lee with that brass ring, but I get it. But yeah, good comedy bits there for Cassidy. Hope he's okay. Check this shit out. We're done. We finished the first one. I built a cool robot. Check out my cool robot. I'm just going to adjust this. There. Yeah. Check out my cool robot. Look at that thing. Look at it. Look at this robot. It's cool. It's cool and fun. I'm going to take a photo of this cool robot. And then we'll start disassembling it. Let me get my camera app open. What if I just pulled out like a big camera? I was just like, let me get my camera here. And we'll just do that. And then push these there. And here's our robot friend. Robot friend. We built a cool robot. If I was going to display one of these kits, this robot needs a sword, Lord Crushing. I don't disagree. If I was going to be keeping this kit around and not sending it out, and donating, I would definitely build this, and this would be the one that would go on display. It would not be the other pieces. So I'm just going to null by color here. We're going to disassemble, and then we're going to move on to, I don't know. I feel like we should do the dragon and do the jet third, so we'll do the dragon next. I don't know. I think that's the way to go. So yes, I'm just going to disassemble by color here. Let's see. Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti. First off, if you have not seen photos of Jade Cargill's incredible Jade look from Mortal Kombat, that shit is great. She did great. She looked fucking fantastic. Looked like $1 million goddamn dollars. The I'm going to get in your head and psychologically mess with you by kissing you thing is just weird. It's just weird and gendered, and I don't love it. It's not my favorite. It was, as a heightening, it's just strange. Because it's just the start of certain stories. It's just a fan fiction starter. And that's a weird thing in a professional wrestling environment, in my opinion. I don't know, that's just me. Hey, I skipped over CM Punk versus MJF because I just knew that would be a bloody mess because it's a dog collar match. And dog collar matches involve whipping people with the chain that is attached to the two of you. So I didn't need that. I watched the entrance where CM Punk came in as to his AFI song that he used to come out to back in the day. And that's cool as hell. In his like Ring of Honor style gear. I thought that was very neat since MJF had came out to Cult of Personality to mess with the fans. And that's cool. Also, yeah, setting up the Wardlow not cheating thing was pretty cool. Let's see. Hey, why didn't Thunder Rosa win? Why didn't Thunder Rosa win? Thunder Rosa needed to win this because who else is going up against Britt Baker? And two, what else is Britt Baker going to fucking do? Because these are the same matches that she has, because the thing that I like the least about Britt Baker is her wrestling. And I think that this was the one for Thunder Rosa to win. Like, unless they do another, like, are they going to build up to another match with Thunder Rosa and it's like no like people being barred from ringside? Is that what we're doing next? Because I don't know what we're doing next, and I don't know who's going up against her next. It's I guess they could heat up Ruby. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Ruby versus Britt, but I don't know. I'm bummed about it. Yeah. Moxley, I think Hayter should be next. Yeah, Hayter, you can see Jam. I can see that. I guess. I don't know. John Moxley versus Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson, apologies. Good match. I love that it ended and they were still like just hitting each other. I think that's very fun. Obviously, the match, it was fine, and also another blood match, which is not my favorite. And it doesn't really matter what happened in that match because we all knew, it was going to end with William Regal coming in and telling them to fucking shake hands and play nice and be friends. Which is very fun, and if that leads to, apparently, he signed. I imagine that is a managerial role for William Regal, even though this is a group that does not need a talker at all. If it means that he's just like, it's just him doing some vignettes, and then he's also working behind the scenes, I don't know, but like, that's an incredible acquisition to get William Regal in your company. This is smart. Here's another match that could have been cut. Did not need Darby and Sammy and Sting. Look. Does it look cool in GIF and video format? Sting's like audience drop. Yeah. But Sting doesn't need to be doing that. He's Sting. He's a legend. He doesn't need to be jumping off high things and falling on stuff. He doesn't need to be doing the New Jack special, with the other New Jack special, the one that isn't actually hurting people. Yeah, I didn't need that. And then I kind of wanted Adam Cole to win because I think that Adam Page needs to be on the hunt. And I think his championship reign has been pretty solid. And Adam Cole winning sets up storyline stuff that's, to me, more interesting. Because to me, Kenny Omega coming back from injury to find that Adam Cole has replaced him is way more interesting than him coming back to have another match with Hangman. I don't need that. I think Adam Page on the hunt to get back to where he was. He's way more interesting to me than the current. Like, who's the next challenger? Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that's wrestling. Some goods, some not so goods. Overall, too long of a goddamn show. That would be my main takeaway. Too many matches. Too long of a show. That's my general opinion on that. Yeah. I don't know. So still some good stuff that I was happy to watch, but not my favorite show that they put on. I'll just say that. Oh yeah, Isaiah Swerve Scott is there. Swerve is phenomenal. So that's good for everyone. Would love to see more black talent be showcased. While there certainly were folks in stuff, particularly the Face of the Revolution, although Scorpio Sky won that, and what did that mean for him last year and this year? Not a whole lot. Jay Cargill is champion, of course. But yeah, just overall, just nowhere near the main event scene, not even hanging around the main event scene. Just generally need that. I understand you don't want to put all of the guys who used to be WWE guys in a front row, but you seem to do it anyway. If it's some guys, but not every guy. But some guys, but not every guy, but some guys. And it's okay. Because you just put... Honestly, they just put Keith Lee in the main event scene. Because why wouldn't they? Because that's just so much money. It's Keith Lee's money. So, just give Keith Lee... Keith Lee tweeted something out about, Orange Cassidy. And I was like... What, we're going to have him be a tag team with Orange or hang out or want to fight Orange Cassidy? That could be funny, but I don't know. I think I'd rather see Keith Lee try to win some titles and go that way rather than see him goof around with Orange Cassidy, who I love. I love Orange. Also, it seems like he's hurt, so who knows what'll happen there, but... do I want to see Keith Lee and Danhausen interact? Of course I do. But do I want that to be an extended program? No, I don't want that because Danhausen isn't going to be top of the card. Danhausen is top, the tops certainly, but he's not top of the card. I'm going to treat him as such. He's a wonderful oddity and he brings a lot to the table. But AEW has a lot of lovable oddities. They don't need all of it to be. They don't need all of their incredibly talented wrestlers to be doing goofy shit. All right, let's take a pause for the cause. We're gonna come back. We're gonna finish disassembling this. We're gonna start on the dragon. But first things first. I gotta do here. If you are currently a subscriber, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the mode in the chat. Let the people know you are a subscriber. That is the easiest way to support what I do here. If you are new to the stream, I'm going to talk about ways you can support what I do here. All of this is optional. None of this is stuff you have to do, but if you'd like to do it, I would love that. Also, as a reminder, Ghostval's here. Hi, Ghostval. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. Prime Gaming Token, Amazon Prime, linked with your Twitch, or use Cash Money. Gift a sub. Aristofan is the top of the gift sub leaderboard with 1 gifted sub. If you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could join there. Also, Harold is the top of our Bits and Coins, the cheer leaderboard. Bits and Coins, always appreciated. Thank you so much to everybody that has chosen to be a subscriber here to help me out. It does mean a lot, and I do appreciate it very, very much. There are other ways to support what I do, though, because I got a Patreon. If you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up YouTube? You can find all of the links that I'm going to be putting out here in the show description of the YouTube video. If you're watching this later on the VOD, you can find all this in the chat. Patreon.com/PatBear, $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. Find a tier that's right for you. I mentioned that I had YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. Of course, subscribing is free. If you haven't already, please do, because I put out videos once a week on Wednesdays, and every other Monday I'll put out a new video, and then sometimes extra videos. But I always put out stuff. So, like, get it in there. Hit the ring the bell and like a video on my YouTube. Please like a video. It's good for the algorithm. We assume likes and dislikes are still good. That's the assumption that creators have right now. Is that still good? Anyway, subscribe to that. But also consider joining for $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow I'll be sending that out to you, and you can see that early. Direct donations. If monthly is not a thing that you're like, I just don't want to do that, Pat. I understand. I get that. What about a one-time donation? Everything I make through one-time donations and my monthly stuff, which is YouTube, AdSense, and memberships, through Patreon and through Twitch, all that goes into a fund, and I take money out of that to buy equipment. This Lego set that I'm working on tonight came from those funds, so you already bought that kit for me to build on this stream, which is rad of you. So thank you for that. But yeah, also, I don't know what I'm building next. I haven't put the vote out. I will be putting the vote out soon so that my $10 patrons can decide what I build next. But if you would like me to build something that you bought instead of stuff from my backlog, you can buy something from my Amazon wish list. And then the thing you bought jumps the queue, because I've got high grades. I got right now I have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 high grades and one one-piece ship, and a one-piece ship, I should say, instead of one waiting for me to build them. But I'll put that aside if you buy something from my Amazon wish list, because it'll jump the queue. There's some pre-order stuff in here. We got Lego sets, including another Lego 3-in-1, the Super Bike, which looks cute. High-grade kits, master-grade kits, inexpensive kits, incredibly expensive kits. As I said, stuff that's pre-ordered, stuff that is, you know, like available and will ship immediately. And yeah, there might be something in there that you look at and you go, I'll buy this for Pat to build. That looks cool. It'll come to me. I'll shoot a video, a separate video on the cool thing that you purchased, and then build it on stream. Because that's the least I can do, is to have it jump the queue. And there's some equipment at the bottom, and I'm going to add a little bit more equipment. I'll find some other stuff that I think would be nice, because sometimes people like to buy. Sorry, some people don't know about kits, but they do want to support what I do, and they might have something that will help me. Let's see, other things that I can mention here that would be nice. Oh yeah, USA Gundam Store is my alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives. You buy a gift card there, you send me the code in a DM on Twitter, and I'll buy something with that gift card code. Let's see. Okay, Discord. That's a way to support me for free. I post build photos at the end of every stream. I post stuff that other people post stuff they're working on. There's some nice conversation there. Nice little place. Jump in. Why not hang out in my Discord? It's full of nice people, and that's cool. Okay, a couple video links for me to share with all of you. I've got Pat Bear's Anime Club, which is my video series where I talk about stuff that I'm interested in the world of anime. This video that I currently have up is me talking about some recommendations for this season, which has been a weird season of anime, but there might be something that you know in that appeals to you. And somebody, I'll be talking about a show that somebody in the comments said, "Hey, you haven't been watching this? You should check it out." And I have, and I've been enjoying it. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Do You Remembaer is my ongoing video series where I read a Wikipedia article or an article from another website, and then do my best to remember everything I can about said article, and then tell you about it. This video, I talked about the white-fronted falconette, the smallest bird of prey that exists, the white-fronted falconette. And then this coming Wednesday, I'm going to talk about a piece of open source software that nobody fucking uses anymore. Because I would just kind of want to. And then I mentioned at the top of the show, but I'll put the link in here. If you stream and you would like to, if you stream and use OBS, you should check out the plugin, the closed captions OBS plugin. Check that out because that's cool that exists, and you should see what's up about that. And then we're going to talk about some manga, and I'm going to drink some water before we get into that. So let's do this and hit the transition, dramatic transition. That was pretty dramatic, wasn't it? All right. Let me actually, check see if we're getting on there. Okay. I'm going to just retweet my tweet, see if we can maybe get a few more friends to join us. That would be lovely. I'm happy with the friends we have here, but it's always nice to have more friends. All right. Let's talk about, I got two pieces of manga to talk about because one anime, I didn't want to talk about, normally on Monday I talk about two shows. One show is now every other Monday or every other week, so don't have the episode available to talk about that. So to have more to chat about, I went ahead and picked two manga to talk about tonight. One is a lovely little slice of life romance series called The Story of a Waitress and Her Customer. This is a great manga. The chapters were fairly short at the beginning, but then I believe around chapter 20 or so, the author ended up moving from free sites to a paid app. And so now they earn some money off of this manga. And now the chapters are a bit longer, which is cool. But the general story is we got a college student that works part-time at a restaurant. And she has, there's an office worker there, a little older. You know, he hasn't been out of college that many years, but he is a bit older than her. And they strike up a charming little relationship. She's immediately drawn to his kindness, and he thinks that she's just like hardworking and sweet. And the manga artist, who's also the writer, draws them so lovely. They're so cute to look at, and their embarrassment. And it's this like slow little thing. There's introduction of some other characters that you know maybe are going to get in the way of what's going on there through either jealousy or accidentally and not knowing. But it's a lovely little thing. As I said, the chapters are pretty short. They've gotten longer since it's been now it's on an app. I think they probably have like page minimums or something. But it's adorable. It's lovely. It's cute. If you're looking for something just like a slice of lifey romance thing where it's like there is an age difference, but it's not like a dramatic age difference. It's just like it's a bit of a life experience age difference. I think it's still very cute, and I think they're adorable. And yeah, that is the story of a waitress and her customer. It's just cute. It's just got cute vibes and good energy. I think it's worth your time. There's a lot. Oh, also the art can be very cute. Like their internal monologue stuff can be kind of cute, and their reactions. It's got a lovely little art style to it, so I recommend. Return of the Eighth Class Magician is a manhwa. It is a Korean comic. It is another story of a fantasy world where the main character is killed and then travels back in time to change the events of the future with their knowledge of what happened in their timeline, to either put things right, to fix some things, to get their, to avoid their revenge, like no need for revenge, but like, yeah, they know what's going on. Basically, there was a war, and he was instrumental in the Emperor seizing power. But then the Emperor's like, you're so strong, and you're so righteous, you're the only person that could betray me, so I'm going to kill you. And he's like, but I wasn't going to betray you. He's like, yeah, but I would betray you, so how can I believe you? Now, I will say this. One of the things I like about this series is they sort of explain how the time travel happened. Because generally in these kind of series, you just are killed and wake up in the past again. And they don't, and like, you may wonder why, but there's never going to be a reason that you get told why that happened. In this case, our main character is stabbed with a dagger that has time magic embedded in it for some sort of reason. But at the very least, he's aware that when he got stabbed with that dagger, it activated a time portal or time magic. So that's fucking something. It's something. I'm like, you're not grasping at straws, hoping that 300 chapters later, they finally say why this happened, and it's not just because he's the chosen one or some bullshit. So I applaud them for that. He is also aware that he is changing the future and that things will be different. And I can appreciate that he's like, oh, actually, this might be not exactly what I imagined because of these events. He is often one step ahead of people as he's unraveling the secrets. But, yeah, like, oh, this guy eventually was a pretty good alchemist, but if I save his dad's life now, he'll be my alchemist. And it turns out, like, oh, he's going to be even better because his dad is alive. Like, he doesn't have that trauma that he needs to get over. Instead, he looks to our dude. He's also able to get revenge for the treatment of his mother, which is awesome, because he had to work his way up. Instead of working his way up, he is jump-shotted up the ladder. He does certainly have hardships here and there. He's figuring it out as he goes. It's not all perfect, but he is running into some issues here and there. We're currently in a part where the story is where he's basically taken out the head of the magic tower, which he knows is eventually is setting in motions to turn on the country, and so he's aware of what's happening there, and he's just like, look, if anything happens to me, all your family and friends will be attacked. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not worried. And he's like, wait, have you given up on them? He's like, no, because he has precautions set in place to counteract that because he knew that they would be attacked. Like, he's aware of that. Like, I'm sure there will be some complications and some surprises, but it's not just that he has like a playbook of like what's happening, but he is fairly well aware of it because of his knowledge of the future. And some things have changed. Like, he is aware that certain things are different because he is changing reality so that then people are having to respond and like upping their timetables. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. I think the art's good. He's fairly likable. The people around him are nice. He's not an asshole, which is always great because sometimes they are, certainly. So yeah, I don't know. I like it. That is the story. Sorry, no, that was a Return of the Eighth Class Magician. And yeah, pretty fucking good. if you're looking to pick up one of their manhwa. That one's pretty great. We'll talk about the anime that I want to chat about here, which is I'm Kodama Kawashiri. This comes out, I believe, on Thursdays, but I'm talking about it on Monday because I have plenty of stuff to talk about on Thursdays. This is a short. I've talked about this before. This is the anime that was recommended in the comments of my Pat Bear's Anime Club, which was so nice because I forgot this show was on. This is a short. You can watch all of these, get caught up right away. It is diary style about Kodama, who is a dangerous life hacker, is how she is described. Basically, she's not a NEET. She's not like a shut-in, but she is like just trying her best to live on no money or be kind of just a little bit of like a troll person, like just like a, I don't know, just like a whatever, just like getting things done. This whole episode today, the one I watched today, was just her talking about food, but specifically having fried chicken in the house is like a great thing because even if you're not eating it, you know it's there, which is just a statement I can relate to so much, that like feeling that it's just like, oh yeah, like, look, I'm not eating it right now, but I know I have some fried chicken like in the fridge or just like ready for me, waiting for me. It was just like, that was basically the whole plot of it. It was just cute, and I thought it was very funny of her just being like salivating, thinking about, she's like doing like her manga art, and then also like behind her, she just knows there's fried chicken waiting for her. I just thought that was very funny and cute. Also, the art style I really like because the opening, I talked about this last week. The opening is like, looks like the beginning of any, regular anime, but then the actual content of the anime, the opening is 1.5 minutes and the anime is 1 minute long. But the actual content of it is done like as like a quick sketches done by a manga artist doing like a journal basically. So it's really rough. She does all the voices for all the characters. If there are any support characters in the episode, she's doing that voice. It's just cute. It is a very fun show. I highly recommend I'm Kodama Kawashiri on Crunchyroll. And I think next season I will stop saying where I watch the show unless it is like Netflix or YouTube. If it's on Crunchyroll, I'm just going to say it's on Crunchyroll because now all of the anime is coming to Crunchyroll. I mean, there'll be some older stuff that's going to be a little while. I think some Funimation stuff, but like there's just animation. Anime is just on Crunchyroll now. I should see if they updated the Crunchyroll stuff. I feel like they wouldn't have, but it's worth looking to see if they did do any, if they have added any stuff moved there. Let's see. All right. Didn't see that. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Has not been updated. Wanted to see if it had gotten updated, but no, it has not been updated yet. Of like, it's coming in batches. Basically, if you're watching something that came out this season, don't expect it to be on Crunchyroll, including like the the dub version of The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. The dub of that is coming out tomorrow, and the Dallas Reed, the voice actor who did the dub voice of Asta from Black Clover, is doing the main character, Wayne. So, which is neat, because that dude's got a great voice, and also can do the yell jumping a register. Because Wayne has like, I'm cool, and then Wayne has like, I'm so annoyed about what's happening here, to him. So, but that dub will be on Funimation. Eventually, it'll probably be on Crunchyroll, but it's not on Crunchyroll right now. I wonder, did the Crunchyroll, actually, I wonder, did Crunchyroll get the dub of Black Clover yet? Because that would be neat. Gonna look that up right now. Look up some Black Clover. Okay, no. As of right now, Black Clover just has the. It might be because that dub is also been on television, so that might be harder. Some of those deals, like it feels like the shows that have dubs that have come over to Crunchyroll have been like shows that have not been on U.S. television. That is generally what a lot of them have in common. That's not to say it won't otherwise, but this is kind of cool. These are the dragon scales. We're doing our dragon here. All right, folks. Now's the time of the stream where we talk about what y'all playing, what you doing. Yesterday, I played some Halo. Halo Sunday is kind of becoming a thing. And then some of the people I played Halo with, we watched the AEW pay-per-view, which was nice. But, yeah, I got some Halo in on Sunday. Our group was 8 people strong, which is fun. It has been pretty nice to roll with a crew. But yeah, let me know. What are you playing? Or are you just playing more Elden Ring, which is cool and fine? My big Elden Ring thought is, I'm not going to play Elden Ring. I hope you have a good time with Elden Ring. That's basically, again, my general thoughts on that. That's not a game that I'm going to be picking up. I hope you're having a fucking great time with it. And I killed a dragon and a tree dude in Elden Ring. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Killing a dragon is always an epic time. So I hope that's going great for you, Lord Crash. Let's see, what else? Did I play anything else? I mean, Power Wash Simulator, still haven't finished the subway, but I finished the stunt plane. So I finished everything. I'm like 75%, 80% done with the subway platforms. It just takes a long time to do all that ceiling work. So I am doing that, and it is going fine. Still like that game. Looking forward to it. I think I mentioned the update to Dorf Romantique. I played a little bit of that today because the latest update to Dorf Romantique put in the undo button in classic mode. Classic mode has an undo button now, and also they changed up a little bit, so theoretically you won't have like the terrible pieces early in the game that kind of like really screw up your run. Those apparently will come less likely. The water and train on the same tile problem, that apparently will be less frequent, which is great. But the undo button is the one that's completely fantastic, because sometimes you just put a thing down and immediately are like, oh wait, oh no, oh no. So having the undo button is fantastic. Very, very grateful for that. Looking forward to putting more time in with Dorf Romantique. I don't think I'm going to be streaming it anytime soon. I mean, it got no votes in my poll of my patrons. Not that a lot of people vote in the poll, which is fine. They don't have to. But not a lot of people vote in the poll. But the poll was basically between Jackbox and Pokemon. So maybe at the end of the month. I don't know. I honestly think... Wait. Yeah, there are 5 Wednesdays. There's 5 Wednesdays in March. I might end up playing Dorf Romantique. I don't know. Because this week is Pokemon. Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. Next Wednesday is playing Tunic. I don't know what I'm doing on the 23rd and the 30th. I think one of those days should probably be Jackbox because it's been a while. And then... Oh, also, one of those days needs to be my winter anime roundup, wrap-up, and my spring preview. Because the anime and the spring anime starts on, the spring. Let's see, sort by next airing episode. Yeah, 24 days is the next one, or the first one. So at some point, pretty soon. Yeah, that's 14. Yeah, so pretty soon I'll have to figure... I got to figure all that out. But yeah, we got some stuff coming in here. Ooh, hell yeah. The second season of Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. That's going to be real good. That's a good show. But yeah, there's anime coming out. So I don't know. I don't know what the timing is. That might be the first week of April I shoot that video. I don't know yet. I got to look at that. I got time to figure it out. I got fucking relax, everybody. I got time to figure that shit out. But that might be the last Wednesday of the month. Might be a Pep Bear's Anime Club recording, which I really enjoy doing. But yeah, if anybody else is playing any games you want to chat about, or you're watching anything, you got some YouTube. Lord Crashton just said, I watched Shrek yesterday, which is probably the only movie ever made that begins and ends with Smash Mouth songs. I want to... Mystery Men. Does Mystery Men, I know the... Smash Mouth was on the soundtrack to Mystery Men, but I don't know if they opened and closed Mystery Men. You might be right. It's been a long time since I saw Mystery Men. I just know that I know the music video features performance from the actors in that movie. But you might be right. It's been a long time since I saw fucking Shrek. I've been watching a lot of Sorted Foods. Sorted Foods is a YouTube channel that has existed for a very long time. They are gentlemen from the United Kingdom. And they have like cookbooks, and they have like professional chefs, although one of the two professional chefs left the project not too long ago. And then they have like home cooks who are still fucking professionals, even if they don't call themselves that. Like, they still know what the fuck they're doing generally. And it's look, it's not my favorite, but I do like food channels, and so I will check it out. Because they're doing good stuff, and nobody there like sucks. Like, there's a couple guys like they're not my favorite, but like I don't think anybody there like absolutely is like a deal breaker, and that's fine. That's fun. I do like that they do like crowdfunded kitchen gadget reviews. I think that's kind of interesting that they will like go and look at that and do some reviews of that kind of stuff. That's kind of neat, and it is fun to have like the professional chefs' opinions compared to their like normals, because they call them normals, which I definitely don't like. But I don't know, it's fine. It is a way to pass the time, and friends, we're at the point now where that's what I'm looking for. Sometimes I'm just looking for a lot of content to play and just have me look at it on whatever. Having one of my monitors up and just some bullshit on there is often pretty great, and just kind of all I need is like, okay, my monitor over there has like some videos. That's cool. I'm watching this Twitch streamer who's playing a lot of Hearthstone and having a very bad time and getting very upset. I'm just gonna have that person on for a while, just like very tilted, and then move on to someone else. Sometimes, I don't know. I watched the live quick look, and was kind of in chat today for Giant Bomb for the WWE 2K game, 2K22, and that looks. But I mean, because they take the control away from you to do some moves, it does seem better than previous games. It didn't seem as broken. But it is a real weird thing to look at that roster and see how many wrestlers are on that roster have been released, but you can play as. Because at a certain point, they had to just lock it down. And then there are active wrestlers that aren't on there. There are people who are active on the roster and like make it like in fairly large storyline stuff, but like Rick Boogs isn't in there because the Shinsuke Nakamura in there is the Shinsuke is the King of the Ring Shinsuke. So he doesn't have Eric Bugenhagen by his side, and it's just like, that's an active wrestler on your roster. That's weird. I saw one of the wrestlers in the game got DMCA'd on Twitter by 2K for posting screenshots of herself in the game, which is a way to go for 2K. Yeah, I mean, she did do it early, which is probably why it got DMCA'd. It probably won't later. It was probably because the game isn't out yet, so that is, or wasn't out yet, but I'm not necessarily an excuse. My main thing is that's automated. That wasn't like a person did that, because believe me, right now, every person who works for 2K on the community team is just making sure that murderers don't have create your own characters uploaded to their download service, which is a fucking thing that people have to do. People have to make sure that murderers, former wrestlers who are murderers, or also just plain old random murderers, don't have characters made and uploaded to the service and have them last that long. That is a thing that people have to do. So, yeah, they automate their DMCA takedowns on Twitter. It's foolish, but also I fucking get it. Did I put these on the wrong spot? Yes. I put only CM Punks for now. Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of, like, create a wrestler, like, people that aren't under contract with them that they just let slide because they don't really care. I put the head where the tail is supposed to go and the tail where the head's supposed to go. So I fixed that mistake. Nobody noticed. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, it's not kind of, it's definitely a mess. That stuff, all that stuff. But yeah, that game seemed fine. It's still not a thing I want to play, but it seems more stable than it's been. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I am somewhat interested in what Ukes is going to do for the AW game. That is at least intriguing to me. I still don't know if it's going to be something I want to play, but I'm interested in hearing about it. Yeah, is there anything else folks are like excited about? Like, is there games coming up that you're going to be picking, you're definitely like going to get? Is there like, I'm not going to the movies. I don't have any interest in doing that. Like, so it'll be a very long time before I see The Batman. But I'm not opposed to seeing The Batman. I just don't want to go to a movie theater. So, it's going to be a while. The roster thing seems like the result of random way they do roster cuts that is bad for a yearly game. I mean, most of it is just that they used to do all their roster cuts in right after WrestleMania. And now they just do it rolling. So there's a point where it's just hard to lock characters like that. And it makes sense that it's hard to lock those things. But it's still weird to see people who have been released, like, you can wrestle as William Regal. William Regal is now signed with AEW, and like, you can have Keith Lee. It's not even Bearcat Lee. It's not even the bullshit they stuck him with. It's just Keith Lee, because they hadn't gotten to the point, they locked it before it got that far. It's weird. Yeah, it is a strange beast, because they just don't know when they're going to lose people. And when that stuff has to get locked in, is still very strange. But anyway, yeah. Like I said, I don't plan on seeing a movie in the movie theaters anytime soon. So it'll be a while before I see The Batman or anything in any way, shape, or form similar to The Batman. But, not opposed to seeing The Batman. It's fun to say The Batman. It's just fun to say it like that. But yeah, I don't have any like thing where I'm like, oh, I'll definitely not see that. It's like, yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah, I don't have any. Let's see. I feel for the dubs that spend all the time on wrestlers to find out they're gone too late to do anything about it. Yeah, and at a certain point, Lord Crashing, they also don't want to remove those people because they need a roster. Like, should they have gone in and taken out Brian Kendrick? Yeah. You probably want to take out Brian Kendrick for unrelated to roster, him being gone for the company reasons. But, like, okay. But, yeah, I mean, you do feel for them that they are constantly, like, putting effort into people who are not on the roster anymore. And so it doesn't really matter if they do well or not. And that is it's a weird thing. It's a lot of weird shit about that. But you know, can't do anything about it. You only can just do your best. But I haven't seen a lot of glitches come out from it, so that's good. How big would the roster be if it was active WWE employees only? Well, so no, look, right now they don't. There's NXT UK people, like the women's champion isn't in the game. There's NXT UK people that aren't in it. There's NXT people that aren't in it. There are people on television right now that aren't in it. That could be. So you could expand it out. The roster is pretty big because, like you said, they're just people that like aren't included, that are active wrestlers. So I don't know if you could fill in every slot of the people that were let go from the company or quit the company and came to terms with the company. I don't know if you could replace all those people immediately. I don't know, but you could try. I think you could do okay doing that. All right, so this is a wing. Put the wing in there. The very rare show you the underside of a thing as the top of it. This looks like it should be the underside of the wing, but it's there, which I think is neat for this dragon. I mean, if they cut the wrestlers that aren't on the roster, how many would be left? I don't know, Lord Christian. I don't know the number. I believe that Jan Ochoa did a count of wrestlers who are not active or legends during the quick look, but I don't know the total number to compare that to. So I don't have that information for you. But it was a lot. It was like quite a few people that are on there that would not be there. And a few of those people, it was their first time in a video game because they were still relatively new to the company, or there was a year that they didn't make a game, so there was a whole year where some people just weren't included because by the time they had gotten up to the main roster or something, they didn't show up in it was too late for the previous year. And then I think that video is totally worth watching because just like Jan trying to fill in the blanks for Jeff on a few things, and then them being like, it's just very funny, them like not remembering what Angel Garza, like, who is he tagging with now? What are they called? Is he Angel or is he Garza? It's just like, I don't know, somebody that kind of knows what's going on. It is fun for that. And then it is somewhat cathartic to hear them just be mad at wrestler ratings, because they go through the whole roster. Look at all that. Not bad. Also, the best part of that game, which I haven't mentioned yet, is the fact that you the tutorial is run by Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak, as Coach Drew, is running you through your paces, teaching you how to play the game, and that is an excellent use of Drew Gulak, who is a legitimate great teacher and coach. He taught at the Wrestle Factory for a number of years. And he knows what he's doing. He's taught friends of mine in the art of professional wrestling. So it is very funny that he is the coach in the game. I didn't see a lot of the tutorial, but I do appreciate that exists. I think that is very cool and fun. All right. Well, looks like we're gonna finish the dragon once we put it on there. We did a dragon, friends. We did 2 of the 3 of this. So $10 patrons are going to have to be on the lookout for what I'm going to do on Thursday, because on Thursday, all I have to do is the jet, because this dragon, we didn't even use all the pieces here. The jet uses some different pieces, but, uses some of the same. But yeah, this dragon is cute. This is a cute little dragon, friend. It's a little hard for it to stand up. Gotta kind of angle it. Let me get the tail down. There we go. We got it there. But yeah, got a cool little dragon, friends, here. So we'll take a photo of that. And as I said, Wednesday's stream is going to be me playing Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. It's a randomizer run where the Pokemon, all static Pokemon. So yeah, all Pokemon are going to be randomized. Yeah, completely. It's just like trainer Pokemon, gym leader Pokemon, starter Pokemon, the wild Pokemon. They're all going to be randomized. I think I'm going to randomize the static ones as well. And then I'm just going to be going through the game trying to catch some Pokemon and having a good time. We'll try that dragon. Take a couple photos of this dragon. Try to get a good angle on this dragon. I think that's the way to go. Yeah. Dragon. Bundle for create a ton of indie games. The proceeds shared. Is that I don't know, John. Whatever you wrote there got tagged by Auto. Are you saying itch? Because yes, I am aware of the itch bundle for Ukraine. Yes. I'm aware of that. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. Thank you for also mentioning it. But yes, we do know about the bundle there. I think it was itch.io, which turned into a link. Ah, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah. Itch.io. Yes, no problem, John. Also, don't worry about that. But yeah, we did talk about that. That is, and we are aware of that. And people should check out that bundle because it's got a lot of cool shit in it for a reasonable price. There's also the Trans Youth in Texas bundle, the TTRPG bundle that is worth checking out. And then also I mentioned on the Humble bundle for Oni Comics. You got a ton of books from Oni and that is totally worth checking out as well. Again, Pokemon on Wednesday. On Thursday, we are going to build a jet. And then, I don't know what. I'm going to put a poll up tomorrow for my $10 patrons to vote on what I build. But that is going to do it for our stream. Thanks everybody for hanging out as we built 2 of the 3 of these builds here, or these Legos. We are going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream, as I've said. We're going to go see what's going on in the wonderful world of the internet and see who's doing some cool shit out there. And we're going to go support those cool people. So we'll do that. Let's see. Who is doing stuff that we want to go hang out with? Let's see if I can find somebody we have not raided in a while, because that is fun. Yeah, Jordan, who is also known as Ray FK. Jordan is playing Elden Ring. So let's go see how Jordan Elden Rings. Jordan is great people. And so come along on this raid, please. He would love to have you hang out. We have not raided him in a bit, so we'll go give Jordan a raid. Feel free to come along on this raid. I hope to see you on Wednesday for Pokemon and on Thursday for just general hanging out. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thanks for as always. And I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.